I just want to pour one out for the fellow old man of Total Sagat, 40 years old. You did it. 9th place. Congrats.
Hey, Sagatos. Pretty bloody good week, I would say. Hey, bit 9th in the CPT, and I got master ranked on the old CFN. So I had a really good time. I just thought I'd run through some of the matches, more of my experience of the whole thing. Really enjoyed it, obviously. Um, People sometimes say, why do you play low tier, or why do you play these characters, and you look at the chat on a say a CPT, and they are all rooting for you. It is very nice. It makes it worthwhile. Even gives you a small power up, I reckon. But yeah, I'm sorry I didn't stream the master rank. I was gonna have the matches queued up and I'd talk through them, and we'd get up to the master rank on the stream or on the YouTube vid. But last night I was trying to decide how many points I should leave to record it, and I thought to myself, maybe I'll leave 400 LP, that's about right, and then of course I get matched up with a couple of Grandmasters and beat them. So your points kind of skyrocket up instantly if you start beating Grandmasters, if you're out of that bracket, if you're still in the Ultra Diamond level. So I made the Master rank anyway. Good news for you, lower ranked players. What that means is I'm going to start it all over again and go up through the ranks and see if we can work out how to level up Sagat through each rank. I think that might be quite interesting. See if we can make some techniques and some training patterns that will help you jump up the levels, and see how each level of player adapts. Might be interesting. But anyway, on to the CPT. 9th, pretty good. I had set myself a target of making the top 16 at a minimum. I did that. It actually helps a lot. When I seen my bracket get released and who I was playing, I was quietly confident I could do some damage. I think when you play a character like Sagat, the matchups matter so much. So my first 3 winners matches looked like Akuma, G, and Akuma. Now I know you guys are thinking, shit, they're all top tier crazy characters, but I would rather play a good player in a decent match than a bad player in a bad match. Sagat's bad matches can sometimes be terrible. So I was pretty chuffed there, and I thought I'd show you guys. Mentally, I was stressed out right from the off. I made some notes, but I decided to myself something Zaffarino said to me in the private chat. He just said, just enjoy yourself, just enjoy it, and that was my main goal, and I did enjoy it, and the commentators seemed to dig an old man Sagat being in there. We'll go through the CPT stream in a bit and have a laugh at that, and maybe dissect it a little bit, but I made some notes beforehand and I've titled them CPT Win. Maybe getting a bit ahead of myself there, but you've got to be confident, don't you? And I don't know if you guys can see what is on there, but I'll read them to you. So, nothing to do with the game, all mental things. I had a hot shower, I was going to have a hot shower, I was going to go for a walk, I was going to hydrate myself, I was going to do a lot of deep breathing before the matches, and I was going to have some herbal tea. That's the bulk of my list. So you can see it's all mental when it gets to this stage. You guys know I can play the game, and anyone at this level can play the game. It's not about what you can do in the game. It's up here. I think you have to get right. I was extremely nervous. The only one tip I have in the game for Sagat is don't DP. Save super. That's it. That's my one tip. And in big capital letters I put enjoy yourself. I don't know if you can see. But obviously the hot shower, go for a walk nonsense at the start. It's just to calm yourself down. I can tell you, the most stressful match of the day is always your first match. That's what I found personally. So let's have a look. We won't go through all the matches. We'll maybe just pick a round from each. But my first match was against Goldie. There he is, right there. and 14th of November. So that was the matches there. This was the winning match. So what I spoke to the guys in the chat. Zaf plays Akuma, Piano plays Akuma. Everyone's pretty up on the Akuma match. The reason Sagat beats Akuma in the mid-range is generally because his fireball's better, his pokes are better, and Akuma, he does struggle a bit at the mid-range, especially with Sagat. So my whole plan with Goldie was just to fireball and DP. In fact, my whole plan all day was to just keep it super simple. I've said that to you guys on the channel many times. You don't need to get complicated with this game sometime to do well. You just need to do the basic things well, and that was my goal. Just zone, make it hard for them, frustrate people, we'll see what happens. And yes, we did it. So let's view the replay, and we'll skip to the last round. In fact, do you want to watch the whole thing? Maybe we'll watch the whole thing. I don't think I'll do the other matches in between. I'll maybe do Seo's match because that's a little bit of an interesting scenario. But here we go. Me absolutely shitting myself. Goldie, no doubt, absolutely shitting himself. We're tied 1-up. I lost the first match, by the way, so mentally I had to be strong. I was in the match the whole time. I just lost it to the trigger. So my plan is just to throw fireballs, keep Akuma about this range, and just frustrate him. I can't remember how I lose this one. He probably jumps in. Goldie does jump a little bit. He plays a lot of footsies, but uses a lot of heavy buttons. Missed my anti-air there. This was just my plan. This and medium kick. Get the damage down and hopefully see what happens. Maybe make people panic a little bit. Missed the whiff punish there. I think that was a miss-input fireball he did there. He did that a couple of times that day. Obviously, I don't want to be too far away from Akuma because he can medium kick Tatsu through the shots. You'll see I'm using a lot of high tiger shots because he can Tatsu through them. I get beat from the jump in. I think he just bodies me here in the corner. Throw? Yeah. So, I kept... That's the way me and Goldie play. It's a really long round. So we'll skip. I think we'll just skip to the last round to keep it short. Now, I hadn't jumped in the entire match, not one time, and I remember briefly thinking about Zaffarino's match with Rushdown and how he just threw caution to the wind, and I kind of took a little bit of inspiration there, and I thought to myself, I'm not going to lose today. I'm going to start playing. I want to win here. Bang. And that really set up that final round. That's a bad DP, but then that was a bad meaty fireball. He didn't get the full damage. V-reversaled him away. See, that Tatsu was just a guess. That was a safe jump. He couldn't have DP'd me there. Now, if I have him here, I'm more than happy just to take. This is bad for him, and he has trigger. Good trade. At this point, he's nearly dead, and I have the bar. I was really surprised he threw these fireballs, especially this one here. And that was it. He was done. He's just wasting. He has full trigger. He is just wasting his position there. He should have been trying to work his way back. So, I think the battle of the confidence. I just grew as I went on. So that was that. So next matchup, I played Llama. He's a good player. I beat him quite often online. I wouldn't say he's got my number or anything. I was confident I could beat him actually. He usually plays Gil and G, and I knew he wasn't going to play Gil because I think I've got his number in the Gil matchup. Sagat just zones a little bit better, and G, I mean, G's G. You can just... I get the most horrendous bad beat at the end of this match. I'll just show you it. We won't go through this match, but it's a very close match that goes pretty much down to pixel every time. But he just... Either I make a mistake or I just get a bad beat. This is a real bad beat at the end here. So I want to stay a bit closer to G because I don't want him absorbing the fireballs. And I'm again throwing the high shot because it's harder for him to absorb the high shot. Trigger already is a bit rough, isn't it? This is a bad fireball, and I do a really bad jump into the reflect. This one, that's a bad jump there. But he loses his trigger, and I have a big lead. That's a good backdash to avoid the throw. At this point, I'm thinking, alright, I got this. And that's fine. What you see what happens here. Here. Oh, the drop. There's like 1 pixel where the heavy kick does not connect to the V trigger too, and I was standing on that pixel. So won't go much into this match. The rounds are very they're all very close, but he managed to beat me. He outplayed me. It was nothing. I did take a couple of bad beats, but I felt like Llama really outplayed me in that match, and I got sent to the losers bracket. So obviously with my seeding I missed a match at the start, getting through the first round, and then I have played another couple more matches, so I just show the ones that I thought were interesting rather than the whole lot. So next up was Darius. Darius actually lives 1 suburb away from my house. We're very, very close. He's a Perth lad. I've beaten him offline tournaments. I've beaten him online. I was pretty confident if I played solid, I would get past him as well. I don't think he quite plays this match right, even though Manat is a difficult match for Sagat, in my opinion. What I find is a lot of Manats, or at least the Australian ones, there's only one good Manat player, Cam's Ace, but these Manats, they back away too much. I think their theory is they want to save the resources, but the only problem is by the time they've got the resources, they've taken too much damage, and now they have to make their way back to Sagat to activate and to get the damage, and they have to get back in. So I think Darius is just playing the matchup completely wrong. He should be zoning me, but trying to get damage off of me. Whereas you'll see the way the matchup unfolds, he kind of always walks himself back to the corner, and I can keep I can trade the fireballs enough to get a life lead. He's always just trying to hit me with the orb, which I don't really care about. I'll take that damage. That's just like taking single fireballs. But my fireball is better than Manat's. So he does have critical R. I was aware of it at the time, especially being the last round. But as you can see, he's just taken too much damage by the time he gets it activated. That was a bad slide. And like at this point here, all I know now, all I have to do is avoid the inevitable trigger critical art. So I just back away, and he throws the fireball back at me. And this, I think someone in the comments once asked, what do you do about double hit fireballs? If you can, you just nullify it with your own double hit fireball. It is worth nullifying a double hit fireball with your fireball to keep your position every time, every single time. Here. So I didn't lose position there, and the game's up. The game is finished once I threw that fireball. I know with pretty good certainty he can't win. He's going to have to jump in now. Manat players always jump in when they get frustrated at that distance. The game's done. So I think, even though I believe that I am a little bit of a better quality player than Derek, at least in this game, I don't think he's playing the matchup right at all there. So here we have a moment of controversy, shall we say. CO, so this is not his usual account. He's actually a master or a grandmaster. I think he might be a grandmaster ranked Ibuki player, but he for some reason couldn't use his other account. The irony is not lost on me that his username is Street Fighter Online Bad, and he complained about the lag. Now, I have played him lots and lots of times in ranked mode. I'll even show you the matches. I'm not going to play the matches, I'll just show you the match log, and just in case you thought I was bullshitting about the playing him in ranked, there he is right there. I beat his Ibuki, 2-0, up here, beat his Poison, He won one game. I beat his poison. So he's obviously, I beat his bookie, I beat his bookie. So he's obviously think the matches in ranked are good enough to keep going. So I don't know what it was about this day, whether it was just the connection that day just crapped out, or I had a saying in my head. I like to think that he likes taking the PP but not the CPT, because he's never once said that our connection's a problem before. Obviously the distances is always a problem, but never to the point where it was unplayable. But anyway, he had a right moan. But yeah, how funny that his name is Street Fighter Online Bad. He actually made me take a picture of my Ethernet cable. Maybe I'll put a little funny clip in of my actual setup here, and you can see what it's like. I run a GeForce RTX 2060 and a Intel i7 10th generation processor, just bought this year on a 144Hz screen, enough to absolutely melt through Street Fighter 5, as we can see from this. Optimal settings, the absolute maximum power. I run it on high because you never know, it's Street Fighter 5. And there's a lovely shot of that master rank. Woohoo! Cheers boys, love the IPAs. Anyway, here's my Ethernet cable. It runs from my man cave to approximately 3 meters away to my extremely expensive router that I bought the other week. Cha-ching! Hooked up. What are you not allowed to do when Daddy's playing Street Fighter?
Use the internet.
Yes, that's right. What are we not allowed to do, Sadie?
I said use the internet. Why are you doing the fire?
If you weren't sure what Sadie just said there, she said, Dad, why do you pick Sagat? I don't know, Sadie, I'm sorry. The all-important internet test, Telstra Perth 7 ping, well within the Capcom CPT rules. We were ready to rock, boys. We were ready to rock. But yes, this match, whilst he's a good player, he's not of the calibre of the Somniacs, the Rumours, the Shen Kans of the Australian scene. I've played him enough to know that I can beat him. So he was a mini gatekeeper, but when I seen that he was my way into the top 16, I was confident. I grew in confidence as the day went on, and all I'll have to look for is I don't think he knows the Sagat match too well. He tends to either jump a lot or use a lot of EX moves when the going gets tough, and that was my plan, was 3 things: avoid EX air kunai, anti-air the jumps, don't get hit by the crouching medium punch trigger. That was it, that was my plan. He does get actually a good run on in the corner in round 1. Thought I was in trouble. I think it might be here. See how he's jumping a lot? He has a very bad habit of jumping a lot. And I'm looking at his meter now. I know that the trigger's coming, so I have to just play around that. And the EX air kunai, I think he does a really bad, yeah, see that's a bad distance to throw that. I can just jump over that one. And all I'm looking for here is avoiding the trigger. That's it, that's my game plan now. Survive. He was unlucky he didn't activate it there. Good anti-air. She's trying. That was the trigger. I bet if I put the inputs on, that would have been the trigger. In fact, let's put the inputs on and we'll see what he was up to. But again, I didn't feel like this match was a problem for me at all. See, nobody's mashing. There's nothing that could lag the game. I don't mash. I'm not a masher. Obviously, I play Sagat. Again, I'm just looking at his bar for that. It just makes them so telegraphed, those EX kunais. Once it was up here, I felt really strongly I was going to win. And see how I'm not doing much now? I'm just waiting for the trigger again. So I have a matchup strategy, like a whole plan of how to beat someone, not just live in moment to moment. See how I'm taking the throws? I just didn't want to push a button. And that was kind of a lucky back through. I think he went for a shimmy. Again, really badly spaced EX kunai, and he jumps into a fireball, so yeah. He said it was like he picked poison after this, He won one game, and then I beat his poison. But he had similar, very similar problems. He jumps in a lot, and really you don't want to be jumping on Sagat. So I took that one out, and I got myself onto the stream. Oh, they were digging old man Sagat. I guess it's the character, and maybe that I'm a bit of an OG as well. But I had a lot of support in the in the chat, which was nice. Thank you for that. This is kind of funny. They asked us for a photograph and some sentences about our opponent and things like that, but I didn't actually realise it was going to get printed on the screen, which is funny. So I hardly wrote anything. My interesting thing that that I was 40. So they kind of jumped all over that. But I thought Rumours was going to pick Seth. I was pretty confident. Birdie is a bad match against Sagat, and I think Sagat does well against Seth. Again, I feel like the draw favoured me here, even though Roth is a very, very, very good player and one of the best in Australia. I was hyper confident of playing Seth and Birdie, just the matchup. I was comfortable, and yeah, they talked about us for a bit, and then we'll forward it on to the match. Vicious kind of disagreed that he thought Seth was good against Sagat because Sagat was tall, but maybe I'll run through the Sagat matchup with Seth, but I think it's very easy to DP Seth from any range with the dive kick. And Sagat's buttons are large, Seth's low health, doesn't have the best fireball beaters. I don't know. We'll fast forward to the match. Where are we? That was Roth using the... So here we go. I started off really bad, actually. We'll make it full screen so you can see. So started off really bad. I think I did MP DP instead of heavy DP. So he baits the DP at the start and goes on a little roll. Ah, nightmare. That's at the point when all the chat's like, yeah, Sagat's rubbish. Total Sagat's a scrub. They didn't really, but usually that shit happens, you know, when you make a bad start. So he's really rushing down. I thought he made like a couple of huge mistakes in this match though. I get mauled here, which is why I think he should have stuck with Seth. I just wanted to get out of the corner at that point, obviously. Can't remember how it ends. I think I get some. Yeah, see, he did stuff like that, like a really close slide. So he was doing weird stuff. In this V reversal, I thought I could punish it with the forward heavy kick. You'll see me forward heavy kick here. He does a V reversal, bang. I thought I was going to punish that. That was what that was. I was still confident at this point though. I felt like I needed to warm up. When you're a fireball character, sometimes you need time to warm up. So it's a deep. See, like that DP there told me he was going to play like really crazy, and he does a really bad DP here. So he has a big life lead, and I'm in the corner. There's absolutely no need for this DP that's coming up. It basically lets me back into the match. I think I EX fireball him, and I just had a really strong feeling he was going to DP. He was just playing a bit zany, you know. See, again, he's all over me, so I don't think there was much to panic about really, but he felt like he threw the match. Actually, it's not this one. This is when I corner him. Sorry, it's not when he does the DP. Gets crushed here, big damage, and then he presses a button on wake up. This is the round. He just kind of, I think it feels like he gets frustrated a lot. We did a lag test before and he said the game was fine. He literally said in the comments, it's fine. I think it's here. This is he's got a full life lead on me. An absolute full life lead. I'm in the corner. Why would you DP here? Why would you do that DP? That's crazy. Like, look at the life lead, the time, the meter situation. It doesn't even make sense why you would do that. That let me right back into the game. That gave me a lot of confidence. And I totally sniffed this Kara uppercut coming out. The chat went wild for this, but I was setting this up here and knew I could Karo him from there. And then here, he's got full trigger. I don't understand what happens here. He has full trigger. He didn't activate trigger one time with Seth. He just dashes into my fireballs and dies. Even Ultra David's like, chill, man. I don't know, it felt like he got really frustrated. And then after this we got the training stage, so we had to go back. And then he picked Birdie, which was another mistake, I think. Here we go. Let's just forward it, yeah. I think that I'm super comfortable in the Birdie match. We have a local Birdie player called Beakray, and he uses a lot of Birdie gimmicks like Roth as well. Roth is very high paced, kind of makes you make a lot of decisions type player. So I was super confident. I think he picked Birdie to try and do stuff like that. So basically what David's saying there is I'm obviously having to deal with the lag as well. Like, can you there's a funny thing happens actually. I'll put the comments on after this round. Someone literally says you cannot react to EX Dolphin Dive just as I react to EX Dolphin Dive. So I screwed the putch here. I should have done cannon instead of regular fireball. Bang, there. I think if I'd done cannon, it might have worked, and I could have dashed up or uppercutted him. But wasn't to be. But I was still confident. Ultra David gets the commentary right here. I start moving around more. I felt like I moved back too much. Started to move around with the spacing. Should have whiff punished the slide there. Bang. So look. Where's the comment? Oh, it's not on this one. It's on this. Sorry, it's on the CPT comment on the YouTube. Literally, someone says you cannot react to Dolphin Dive online at the same time I punish it, which is kind of funny. Kara uppercut. This is actually a dropped Kara here. This one. Because I whiff a DP here. I missed the Kara input. And he actually did really well here. It was nearly curtains for me. Got dizzied. I had trigger, so I had the safety net. See how I've got critical art again. That was my whole plan the whole day, was to just try and keep a big comeback factor. And this is another mistake. I don't know what he was doing. He tried to get through the fireball with the EX bullhorn, but then I don't understand the bubblegum mechanic. I just knew I had to push a button. Even David didn't understand. This is a lucky jump in. So you can see Birdie can be zoned. I went for a grab there and missed it. There's a dash coming up that actually wins me the game. So I'm comfortable at this range with Birdie unless he has meter. So he burns it here, which, fair enough, he gets the life read back, but at this point here he has no more resources. He has no trigger, he has no EX meter. What that means is I can just chuck fireballs as much as I want. And I knew, right here, I knew he was going to dash. I 100% knew. The way he moved just before it, let's have a look. It just reeked of dash. Watch his movements. What he was trying to dash up, command grab me. Let's have a look. See. That's a good. See at that point there. So he only has two options. He can jump or he can dash. That's all he can do against Sagat with no resources and no trigger. And I was just completely ready for the dash. I just felt it strongly coming. He does a little move here. See the way he's crouching like that, getting into position for it? I just sniffed it out. And that really turned it. And Ultra David gets the comments right. I actually move forward to try and get a light chip and then move back, because he thinks I'm going to throw a fireball when I move back. If you just watch what just happens just as he jumps, I duck down as if I'm going to throw a fireball, which makes him jump up. It's a fake fireball setup. Not many people in the chat would understand that, what happens there, but Ultra David called it right. So I move forward here, then I move back. Bang. Did you see the little duck? That was for a fake fireball, and it worked. So I was pretty pumped at that point to get through. One more and I would have been in the top 8, but of course I had to get the one person I did not want in the whole thing, which was Somniac. If I could pick one person to avoid out of the whole tournament, it was Som's Bison. And who did I get? Som's Bison. I was hoping Panda would take, I was hoping Som would beat Panda, and if I got Akuma, I would have been much more confident in that match, but it was not to be. But we'll have a look at that one anyway. At this point, I'm hyped up about how far I've got. I was proud of myself to get that far with just Sagat, and I do really well at the start. I take the first round off of Som. I've played him a few times, obviously, if you've seen on my channel. I was ready for the jump-ins. The one thing with Bison is you cannot fireball him. You just cannot fireball him. That's a bad fireball. I shouldn't be throwing those fireballs.
Those things just might make it tough, but Total Sagat, the way that it's not just about fireballs.
I really felt like I dealt with his EX Devil's Reverse quite well as well. Apart from that one, just as I say it, but I think I've dealt 3 or 4 of them. I knocked him out of the air. In fact, I think that's how this round ends. I noticed Som wasn't pressing much buttons. I should have thrown him more. That's a risky DP, but I thought he was going to push a button after the V reversal. I think this is where I anti-air the Devil's Reverse. As soon as Som has meter, he has a tendency to always use the EX Devil's Reverse to turn the momentum back. I'm always ready for it. I'm always looking at his meter. In fact, right now, I was just trying to get him almost to get EX Reverse so that I could punish it. Bang. The commentators loved that one. So, the chat going off. So, I can't remember what happens in this one. But see how he backs away after that AX reverse. So I've already got him spooked about the reverse now. There's something that happens at the end of this match where I could have won the first match, but nobody picked up on it in the chat what I was trying to do. But I'll explain it to you at the end here. But very tough match, like probably Sagat's hardest match. You can see I'm using a lot of V reversals. Picked the EX out of the air.
Very prepared, don't you think? Total Sagat seems like he's ready for
Yeah, I was prepared because I'm used to Bison's doing the EX stomp. Oh, the risky DP. See, I was breaking my own rules a lot in this match. I used a lot of DPs, but it feels like against Bison you have to get him off you. It's a tricky setup. Can't remember how he wins. So I see how I'm just waiting for my chance. Dash up, jab, yeah. I'm trying to counter his play rather than control the match myself. But at the end of this, I could have won if just one thing had happened that I was trying. I'm whiffing that heavy kick because it beats the axe. It's good anti-air. Bison's not got a great anti-air if you jump from far away. That's why I'm jumping from that distance. That backdash helps with the timing for the DP. That's what I've found. If you see Bison EX reverse, if you backdash, it gives you the right amount of time that if you DP, that's such a bad, such a scrubby DP. I don't know why I did that. That's not, I never do stuff like that, like step kick -2 into DP. I think maybe the stress of it got to me, but yeah, that was a terrible DP. I'm so salty at that I did that. And there's combo drops. I'd never seen this combo drop before. Why did that drop? It's just another bad beat. So here, coming up, you'll see this is a huge life deficit, but if you look, Bison's got about 450 left, I would say. And if you look at my EX meter, okay, here I'm just trying to build meter. So I'm doing these staggered medium punches because I think I can fill that last bar up, and if I hit him with stand medium punch, crouching medium punch, DP, it will fill that bar and I will cancel that into critical art, and I probably would win there. This one right here, oh, I just should have done it one more time. It's just a face off with me and him. It was a good button push. It was a really good button push, but I so would have made that critical art up if I hit him, and I wonder if it would have just killed him. Maybe just not, but I was so close to taking that round where it didn't actually look like it. But the last one, I get outplayed. I get outplayed in both of them, and I generally, that was my day. I really feel I was better in the matches that I won, and my opponent was better in the matches I lost. And I guess that's how it should be, you know. It wasn't. This is a hard match, but I got outplayed. He just made a lot of good pressure. He played very defensive the whole day. He made the grand final, so I'm playing the grand finalist at the minute. You know, that's the quality of player I'm talking about. And he got a little. If you win the first match in a first to two, it's a real confidence booster.
We have not seen a grab, I believe. I think it's only been frame traps so far out of
David's right there. I should have grabbed him more. I feel like he was not. He was going to block and down back a lot, and not take shimmies, and maybe even take throws. Would have been interesting. I DP'd there because I thought it would have punished the Psycho Crusher passing through me, but it didn't. Sometimes if you EX when you're on the ground, that it will catch that Crusher as it goes through you. So again, I don't feel like I played really badly in the match. I played okay. It's just Sagat doesn't get to play in the Bison match. Your whole match is based on what he's doing. You know? Like, one of the bad things about Street Fighter 5 is, I will show you in 1 second. This is one of my pet hates. Like, look how much life Som has left, okay? This is not the player's fault. This is the design of the game. How much life he has left, and he has V-Trigger already. So if V-Trigger's a comeback mechanic, why does he get to power up his character when the life bars are practically the same? And I am so far away from getting my trigger, it's not funny. It's one of the things my pet hate. I would like to see in Street Fighter 6, I don't know if you can see my mouse, I would like to see comeback mechanics that only can be used once you get down to this kind of health. This, where that stun bar is. Why does he get to turn the tide of the match on me there? Because of what? You know? Because he blocked some stuff? Like, yeah, pet hate, but it is what it is. It's the game. I give this one away again. I broke my golden rule of don't DP.
He's coming for you.
Right here, bang. Oh no. And that was it. That was the CPT run, boys. So I got the thanks from Ultra David, which was super cool, super cool. It really made my day. It made my week. It made my SF5. So yeah, a good run, and I'm glad the guys in the chat, and perhaps you were in there, you got the chance to watch it. But I'm glad I put some smiles on some people's faces. Lagginess aside, it's an online tournament. What do you do? What do you do? Everyone has to face it. So it's just one of those unfortunate things. Keep tuned for more videos. I've got some stuff coming up, and we'll do some ranked with the old master account. Cheers, boys and girls.